It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
Here's Sexton in the lane, lowers his left shoulder into Osman. Osman relents, and Sexton never relents and lays it up and in. Lob, Markkanen, got it. Keontae George hit the bullseye, and Lauri Markkanen slipped behind the defense. Osman has it. 3-on-1 break, fast break. Branham to the window. No. The other Jazz players don't run back defensively. 4 Spurs are there. They get it. Give Wembanyama the dunk and the foul. Collins, step back 3 with the shot clock about to expire. No good. Walker gets the rebound. Walker goes back up. Wembanyama ripped it out of his hands and just took it. He blocked it and just took it away.
The San Antonio Spurs beat the Jazz 118-111. PK, a horrible start from the Jazz. They get down big early. They're down 29-15 after one quarter, down 19. Didn't show up for the start of the game and never really recovered. Led for all of 23 seconds.
Yeah, but they won the second, third, and fourth quarters.
Yeah, too bad they didn't show up for the first.
Well, did they just not have the right time?
You know, I announced it, so I did my part. I don't know. I said it multiple times yesterday. I'm sure they're all listening and driving in, so they should have known.
You always do your part. That's the thing about you.
Thank you, PK. 31 points for Devin Vassell. They could not contain him. They couldn't even slow him down. Wembanyama had 5 blocks, including an outrageous two-handed block from behind where he basically ripped the ball away from Markkanen as he tried to dunk. He was a force, and the Jazz get beat. That's 7 straight losses. They got 9 games to go in the season.
They can do this.
They can. 16 in a row to close the season.
I think they can.
That was a tough test right there, playing the worst team in the West at home.
Okay, they passed it with flying colors.
Back at it tomorrow against the Houston Rockets.
Well, who's won 10 in a row?
Trying to catch the Warriors. Fully motivated. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
Golden State Warriors beat the Orlando Magic. Draymond Green ejected 4th time this season. He was arguing 4 minutes into the game over a bad call and kept going and got himself kicked out, and somehow the Warriors won without him anyway, 101-93. Think he gets suspended? Putting hands on the arm official, that got him the first tee, and then he kept going and kept going and kept going and finally got the second one.
I didn't see anything that was unusual, physical.
Probably the ejection suffices.
Yeah, but I mean, this is...
on and on, right? Again and again. Lakers beat the Grizzlies. LeBron, 23 points, 14 rebounds, 12 assists, 136-124. The Lakers get her done on the road in Memphis.
Way to go.
So they hold on to that 9th spot in the West. Suns beat the Denver Nuggets. Kevin Durant, 30 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks. The Joker had a great game, but not enough. And so Phoenix, on their best day, reminding us how good they can be.
Jamal Murray didn't play. He's got an ankle thing, or this is his second or third game he's missed. So, I mean, they're not the same without him. That's obvious.
Clippers need to show some of that toughness that Ty Lue wants them to have. They beat the Sixers 108-107.
Very, very controversial. Nick Nurse needed a doctor after that one. That was good. I like that.
I did. That was good.
He went after the refs and Kelly Oubre calling him the B word because he got roughed up on a couple of plays there at the end. The no foul, blah, blah, blah. So there you go.
The Rockets, who will be here tomorrow night, were in Oklahoma City, and they picked up the win in overtime, 132-126.
No SGA.
No SGA in that one.
So, I mean, come on.
Giddey went for 31.
Including 2 from his butt. You see that?
I did not see that.
Yeah, he fell down. He was sitting. I was going after a loose ball. It was in the lane, right? So it's probably 4 feet from the bucket. And so he got the ball and sat up.
And it's like a horse shot.
His butt is clearly right
on
in the
ground,
middle.
right in the middle of the paint. Yeah.
And he shoots it. He kind of puts it up I don't know if he thought it was 3 seconds or whatever, but he put it up there and it went in.
Critical game. Critical point in an overtime game. But not enough. The Wizards and the Washington Capitals are staying in the District of Columbia. The ownership and the city reached agreement on a $515 million arena project that will expand the existing arena complex by 200,000 square feet and add the creation of an entertainment district around it. So, get to make the money around the arena and stay in the city after flirting with a move to the suburbs.
Yeah, everyone's creating the entertainment district.
Yeah. That is the phrase. It's all about the real estate deals around the arena and or stadium, where the real money is. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
Utah's headed to the NIT semifinals. They rout VCU at home. They were in charge from the start. They led by 29. They win by 20, 74-54. And they are off to play Indiana State Tuesday night, Butler Fieldhouse, Indianapolis in the NIT semifinals. They're awesome at home, PK. 3 more home wins charging through the NIT.
What a legendary season they've had. Are they up to like 23, 24 wins? Jeez, not only not fire them, extend them. It would be funny, in a sense. It would undermine what they've accomplished if they go get beat in the first game. It's like, hey, you can't win anything unless it's
anything outside of the Huntsman Center.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That'll be Tuesday night, and it will be road-ish, neutral-ish. I mean, Indiana State should have a lot more fans there since they're in Indiana, but it's not their home court.
No, not at all. No.
The Sweet 16 starts tonight. Clemson, Arizona, San Diego State, and UConn are the early games. Bama, North Carolina, Illinois, Iowa State, the late games. You'll hear those games starting at 5 o'clock on 1280 The Zone.
Yeah, I don't care. It's the NIT, man. You know how big the NIT is when no one's opting out. This ain't like some bowl game. We've had nobody opt out.
Well, I guess you could argue that the teams that opted to not play had the players opting out.
You can argue that if you want, but go ahead. You stay alone on that. Yeah, I bet you every last one of them wanted to experience what the Utes are experiencing. I don't know why you're downgrading it.
Do you have anything you'd like to say about the NCAA tournament?
I love it. It's amazing. I was driving in today thinking, man, when we come back on Monday, it'll already be April. And it stands by my statement that March, even though time moves the same for everyone, is always the fastest month for me. It's hard to believe that when we come back on Monday, March will be over. Seems like some of these months take longer and longer and longer. But March, because I think a large degree, and usually and historically, I've traveled a significant amount in that month. And when you travel, time really blows by because you're totally out of your routine. And I think in large part is the conference tournaments, which I went to this year, went to both of them, Pac-12 and Mountain West, and then the NCAA. But it just seems like, and spring training, it seems like, I wait all year for it to get here. And then the next thing you know, they're breaking camp. I don't know why it is, but for some reason, March just really, really flies by. It flies by, for me, faster than the summer months.
Those really fly by.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
They do.
And I think a large portion of it is the anticipation of these college basketball games. It really does take center stage.
Between March Madness and spring training, you're focused.
Yeah, just...
The SMU Mustangs have reportedly targeted USC head coach Andy Enfield. They want him as their new coach. SMU reported solely focused on Enfield, and trying to make a deal to hire him away from USC could take time. Going to the ACC, deep-pocketed boosters, oil money in Texas. SMU ripping a coach away from USC. I mean, it's basketball, not football, but it still turns your head a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, the thing about it is, maybe it's also a blessing, too. You'll always be substantially under the radar over there with SC football being so dominant. And he's been there a good while. He's got the kid from Corner Canyon. I don't know if that's going to make a change, if the kid wants to change his mind and if Enfield ends up going there. But by and large, he's done a good job, I think. They had the down season this year. They were battered by injuries. Though. They never really had their whole team, even before the season even started, with LeBron's son going into cardiac arrest as a 21-year-old or 20-year-old or whatever he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's going to be a major scare. And then they've had some other guys. So I really wouldn't look at his tenure this year and say, oh, wow, what's SMU doing? They're getting a losing coach there, because I don't think that's who he is. He's done a good job, and he'll probably do a good job over there at SMU if he ends up taking it.
It's a decade if he wants to move on. That's long enough. And he's been in, before this year, 3 straight NCAA tournaments. They had the one run. They were in a regional final, weren't they?
And they've gotten a number of recruits that have gone on to the NBA.
Yep. DJ PK.
Hashtag NFL.
Washington Commanders coach Dan Quinn said they're evaluating what they plan to do with the second overall selection, as many presume they're taking a quarterback. If somebody thinks they know, they'll have to fill me in. So long, and with general manager Adam Peters and I, we're not there yet. If Caleb Williams goes to Chicago as expected, who do they take?
No, you got a month. Why would you be there now?
Don't need to be, right?
No.
Carolina Panthers signed pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney to a 2-year, $20 million contract. Tied his career high, 9.5 sacks with the Ravens, reigniting his career and get him a $20 million deal.
No matter what he does, he'll always be known as the guy who blew up the Michigan running back.
That's it, right? That's the YouTube highlight, and you're not topping it.
Yeah, I remember watching that live.
9.5 sacks in the NFL. That's awesome.
Nice,
but over here,
the play of his life.
Yeah.
I was watching that live, and Spurrier pointing at the yard marker. The football wasn't past it, but they gave him the first down, and he's like pointing, and it's right on their sideline, and he's pointing down at it. It was so funny. What was that? That was a New Year's Day game, right? I was just sitting at home with nothing to do, and got that game on. I don't even remember what bowl game it was.
One of those early morning Florida games?
Gator Bowl or something?
It was like the Gator Bowl.
Yeah, and then on the next play, he just blows them up, man. Wow.
Pro Football Hall of Fame honors longtime NFL assistant coach Monty Kiffin and more than a dozen others as part of its Awards for Excellence program. The awards honor 15 recipients that include assistant coaches, trainers, equipment managers, film, video staffers, and PR directors. Not the glory jobs, PK, but they're the ones who make the trains run on time.
Monty Kiffin, any relation to Lane?
Possibly. Father?
Maybe.
It's amazing how they end up having that same talent.
Now, one thing to note on this, they say equipment manager. So Josh Hewitt is BYU's equipment manager. Apparently, his grandfather has been a longtime equipment manager in the NFL, was one of the guys who was honored in these awards.
Way to go, Josh Grandpa.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
NCAA President Charlie Baker is calling for a ban on college prop bets in states where sports can be legally wagered on. So, no side bets on an over-under on how many yards an individual player will have, rushing, receiving, throwing, how many touchdowns somebody might score or sacks they might get. Good luck with that.
Over here, I got a box.
Uh-huh.
And over here, I got Genie.
He just reached all the way across the table with
and
his
they're
other
two
arm.
separate things now.
And now you want to put the Genie. Not happening.
No. Just going to have to live with it. And there's a downside to everything usually, and that's going to be you're always going to be concerned, but they'll catch it.
As they just did. And somebody will try to get away with it, but AI, baby, they're all over every bet. They know the average amount of money that is wagered on any player's props. And so when it's usually 1,000 and somebody wagers 10,000 and somebody else wagers 10,000, yeah, the red flags go up. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Well, we did have those 2 games in Korea with the Padres and Dodgers, but here's the first full day of the Major League season. Not quite full. Weather already postponing the game in New York with the Mets and the Brewers and the game in Philadelphia, Braves and Phillies. But plenty of games for you to choose from, PK, and watch baseball all day long with the free pass. Angels and Orioles, 1 o'clock, getting it started, and then like half the league gets going around 2 o'clock. So,
yeah, I'm busting out of here, get my gym obligations done, get home.
Yankees, Astros,
Every single last one of them.
Cardinals, Dodgers.
I'm having nachos and Coke Zero.
Is this, you got, where are you going? Who are you locking down on? Or you can't. It's just like bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, 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 right through the.
I'll just sit on the recliner with the remote and just flick around. What you can do is on the baseball package, you can go to the one channel that has them all in squares, and so you can see
what's going on and then zero in on whatever
and
you
then
want.
you can highlight the one and it'll go to full screen. So yeah, I look forward to this day every freaking year. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it matters to me, and to me, I was always excited about it. And I was a kid who would run home and catch the last couple innings of the Yankees and Mets in spring training. And they'd have guys that didn't have names on the back of their jerseys with the numbers in the 90s.
Number 87, number 94.
I took the bus. From first grade, I took the bus. And my parents were working, and my sisters were older, so they were gone. College, marriage, whatever. And it wasn't that far of a run. It's probably maybe half mile or so. And I literally would run home to catch the last couple innings. And I would map it out on Sunday. When you get the Sunday paper and it includes the TV thing, the TV section, almost like a magazine type thing. And I would check it out, either WOR, Channel 9, or WPIX, Channel 11. And I would do that. So, yeah, it's always mattered to me. I make no bones about it.
Will Smith, contract extension, 10 years, $140 million. The Dodgers are spending it like they got it.
Man, he can get jiggity with it.
Third richest deal ever for a catcher.
Who are the other two?
Do not know.
Carlton Fisk and Johnny Bench?
Probably not. Money's gotten a little bigger since then.
Joe Mauer's the top one, I believe.
Joey Mauer.
Yeah, I think
That's
you're right
your Hall
about
of
that.
Famer.
Yep.
Joe Mauer.
Even Piazza too long ago, right? He would have gotten a lot of money. It's got to be somebody more recent. Some money's gotten bigger.
Wasn't John Bacabella? Alan Ashby?
John Bacabella, great name. Really rolls off the tongue.
Manny Sanguian?
Manny Sanguian.
Jerry Grody?
I was a rebel. I used to vote for Manny Sanguian for All-Star
I
catcher.
thought you were an Aztec.
Nice. Over Johnny Bench, which is always a stupid thing to do, but I did it anyway.
Who'd you vote for?
Manny Sanguian for the All-Star game over Johnny Bench.
Are you an idiot?
Yeah, pretty much.
Johnny Bench, the greatest catcher of all time.
I know, and I'd argue with my brothers and my dad.
Oh, jeez, man. No wonder why you lose arguments. You've been losing them since a kid.
I did. I picked the losing argument. I love Manny Sanguian. I just love that name. Pirates are really good then. Juan Soto says he's feeling at home with the Yankees after being traded in the offseason, and he says his focus is simple. I'm here to try to win the World Series. Oh, man. Yankee fans just eating that up. Plus, he knows he can get paid, right?
Well, he'll probably get paid either way, but yeah. Did you see that De La Cruz kid for Cincinnati? The one who he takes 4 strides and he's standing on second base?
Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah. He did his press conference yesterday in English. Mm-hmm. And it was so awesome. This guy's a youngster. He's only been in the big leagues a couple years.
Yeah, but he's exciting on the base paths.
And
he's just a highlight film.
He said he worked on his English every single day. And it was so cool. And he had a huge smile. He was so proud of himself. And it's like, that's just awesome, man, that he would come over here. I always marvel these guys, these young dudes who come from Latin countries and come here. And I would just reverse. I would panic. And these guys, I realized they got a support group and all, but I just thought it was so cool that he did his so early in his MLB career that he took the time to learn English. Because I said, I want to be able to communicate with the fans directly.
How many more opening days before we're talking about a local team? You got a vibe? You got a feeling for that?
I would say at least in the 7 category.
Yeah. I used to think maybe it could be faster, but apparently in Nashville, who just seems like a lock to get an expansion team, that the baseball ownership group was looking at for where they were going to put their stadium. And now the Titans have that property. I don't know what all happened and how that all played out, but the Titans are going to build a new stadium there. So looking for a stadium in Nashville. The two teams have to come in together for scheduling purposes. So that can only slow it down and makes anything shorter than this timeline you say. End of the decade, right? 2030?
Right.
It'd be awesome if it were earlier, but...
But I will say there's the potential of the A's next season.
Yeah, I just wonder if that TV money is going to keep him anchored there.
Very well could, but
Yep.
it's the potential of
It
the
is
A's
potential.
next season.
DJ and PK.
Golf.
PGA Tour is in Houston this week. Tony Finau is the defending champion. Patrick Fishburne, Zach Blair also playing. So there'll be some local guys with ties as they wait out the Final Four before the Masters moves front and center. See if Tony Finau can master that course once again. That is what is trending. There are your headlines. Coming up, Steve Loom, 9 o'clock, longtime jazz writer on the Jazz issues and the rebuild. Ian Furness at 9:30. KJR host, Fox 13 Seattle anchor reporter covering the University of Washington. Man, that's like a brand new deal, right? They're going into the Big Ten. This week they got a new AD and a new basketball coach. So suddenly the football coach who was hired in January is the grizzled veteran in the marquee positions there.
Yeah.
Complete makeover at Washington.
Right.
Conference AD football basketball coaches. Amazing.
All for different reasons, obviously.
Yeah. We'll talk to Ian coming up at 9:30. It's an RSL Thursday. We have tickets to give away to the Saturday night game with St. Louis City, and we will do that coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. That question of the day is next. Stay with us.